karmic repercussion. We're in karmic repercussion cycles. Hey, beautiful guys and girls. I just wanted to speak to everybody out there and just remind you that now is the time for us to tune into and tap into the divine network of higher energies. There are many unseen forces at work, and if we tune into this grid, this network of higher consciousness through meditation, through exalting our mental state, through going beyond the fears and insecurities and kind of volatile gossip that's going around in the world, when we actually mentally exalt ourselves from this, we can tune into a different vibration and frequency and essentially allow that frequency to lead us into the next phase. There's a lot of uncertainty for people in these old paradigm systems, and that's because these old paradigm systems cannot and will not continue to exist. They're being destructed, they're being dismantled, and the reason is they were built upon evil. And you know, people who have a higher vibration and consciousness understand that their energy is more powerful when they are exalted in a higher consciousness, in a loving capacity, in a capacity of peace. This state of peace is more powerful because it shows up any other state for what it is. It's like a blank canvas. It just shows every little droplet this state of peace. And I just believe that each person has the capacity to access this continual peace and also use this to bring change and to occupy a space and to hold a vibration for the world. And you know, when we actually allow ourselves to do that, then because we have to actually schedule it in this time and age, you know, we actually have to say, this is my time daily to go in and say and check in and go, what's my vibration, what's my intuition, what's my higher conscious saying, what is available for me to tune into. We all have the ability to receive intuition and guidance. Yeah, we all have the ability to connect with higher realms, but we are told that it's all bullshit and it's all Disney and it's all fake and it's all cartoon and it's all film. But that's not the truth. The truth is that we are multifaceted, multidimensional, infinite beings. You know, the fact that we are made up of molecules, atoms, and different energy spheres that have all formed to this physical experience we're having at the moment. It's not a physical experience only, though. It's a spiritual experience. It's experiencing the physical, the material world. So we must remind ourselves why we came to where we're at in this form. And I think there's also this intuition and this knowing inside, the things that resonate with you, the things that you're passionate about, the things that light you on fire. Those are the things that we have to amplify. And anything else that isn't to do with those amplifications, then we have to remove them in terms of just pure focus on what is true destiny for us, our passions are. That's our power. Do you know what I mean? When we focus on the things that ignite us and bring us alive and give us life, we're building life. You know, we're speaking life. You know, there's many conspiracy theories, and it's not just conspiracy. There's many theories about what is actually happening in the world at the moment, especially to do with systems which are old paradigm systems, with government, with, you know, all of their policies. But unfortunately, those were all built upon massacre. They were built upon control. They were built upon this, you know, old system of controlling people. And, you know, the thing is, where we are now in our evolution and in our consciousness as human beings having like this multi-dimensional higher world experience that so many of us are tuned into. We know that we have to connect more with nature. We are called to. We know that we have to go within to our spirit. We're called to. We actually have to just go within and say to ourselves, where am I going? You know, what's my intuition? What's resonant with me? And we have to almost just forget everything we've learned in terms of like these systems, you know, and that is probably the hardest thing to understand, is that basically everything that we're doing in this modern day world is a construct, a human construct, which isn't based on the essence of our truth. And the essence of our truth is, in my view, that we are spirit, that we are formless, and that we are a comprised set of molecules come together to be this physical experience. And then in that capacity and understanding and consciousness, we have the ability to move through any situation like water. Be like water, you know, water can move through any substance, you know, it can absorb. It's powerful when it is strong and when it's in its volume. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why we must amplify the things that bring us joy and the things that bring us passion and power, and the dedication and the knowing, the conviction that we have to have in these pursuits of happiness, but in these things that ignite our soul and our spirit. That's the things that are going to help us through these times, because when we're seeing all the other stuff which is like fake, you know, there's so many fake things, there's so much propaganda, there's so much like to bamboozle us, to confuse us, and especially with all of these government situations where they're trying to make us comply, they're trying to make people as a collective comply with their demands, and essentially their terrorist group, you know. And so we have to say, okay, they're in that establishment because of old historical situations that were built upon blood magic and were built upon massacre and war and evil. But how do I want to live day to day now? Do I want to go around massacring people? Do I want, you know, the blood of somebody? No, like I personally don't. And so, you know, that's where we have to be, because this is a karmic repercussion. We're in karmic repercussion cycles, and we're so lost in well, not, we're so fixated on just the kind of momentary daily kind of unfolding of some of these horrendous stories, that actually we have to take a step back intuitively and see the broader picture of like the karmic repercussion, the cycle of what we have evolved to be a part of, and go beyond within our psyche and our spirit and our psychological, metaphysical experience. We are more than what we're being told. We are more than what we've ever been taught in schools, in, you know, and there are systems at work that want to keep us down. There's systems at work that want to keep us not knowing our power. And so I'm here to tell you how powerful you are. I'm here to tell you just how much access you have, and how much resilience and how much faith and how much hope and how much vision you have if you allow yourself to have it. And one of the best ways to access this is being in nature, and is through meditation, and is the clarification, the clarity of mind, to know that we can bring this in, that what we see in our mind's eye, we can manifest this in the physical. This is about the manifest. It's not just about material stuff, because material stuff is transient and temporary. This is about our human evolution and our spiritual experience right here, right now on this planet. So we must actually allow ourselves the time, the space, the energy to access and exalt our minds. When we do this, we find that life is joyful, and we just have to dedicate ourselves to this. We have to dedicate ourselves to this, you know, knowing, especially in these times, that we're going to experience the fruition of life, the differences, the light and the dark. We're going to experience those things, but it's where do we want to stay? Where do we want to be? Where do we want to live? Where does this make us, where do we feel most happy? Where do we feel most at peace? Not necessarily in the dark, wallowing in self-pity and fear and anger. You know, anger's necessary. Anger's a transformative tool. Anger is passion, it's fire, you know, and it can be used and channeled in the right way when we want to promote life, because it's all linked. It all has a karmic effect. You know, we can be angry and then go and blow up buildings, but that has an effect. So it's like, yeah, we have the power to do that if we want, but that has an effect. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is like the traversal karmic law and cause, law of karma, law of attraction, karmic effect. You know, these things are all connected. And so when we connect in the pursuit of the vision of what we want and what we want to see in the world, then we can bring in what we see. I envisage a world where everybody is helping each other. I envisage a world where everybody cares about each other. I envisage a world where we are promoting and supporting nature, and this is happening already, but we are putting this before some of the draconian, outdated systems that were built upon massacre and war. You know, I envisage a world where we worship trees, where we actually understand the life-giving purpose and power of these beautiful trees, that we understand that the earth is alive and breathing, and we're working to clear up any past, you know, misfortune that we have allowed to house into the planet, that any poisons we've allowed to put into the planet, that we are clearing things, that we are I envisage a world where people know that they're all equal, because we are, but unfortunately there are people that think they're better than others, and understanding that we are all connected, understanding that we don't need to like micromanage someone else, understanding that, you know, what we are and what we hold and what our vibration is has a power and a clarity and a distinction, and that has an effect like a domino. You know, it goes around, what goes around comes around. You know, what we are affects everyone else. It's like we get in order, we get in line. And I envisage a world where, you know, we can share our gifts and our talents abundantly and appreciate them and lift each other up, that we don't need to think we have to compete with each other. I envisage a world where, you know, we're all working together to help each other, and you know, kids are looked after, and, you know, everybody can come together and be love and say and know what they feel is true to them, you know. And I just feel that everybody has the power to do this. So remember the power that you have, remember the access you have, remember the intuition you have is powerful, is strong, and it's there whenever you want to access it. And allow yourself the time, the space, allow yourself the moments to sit in meditation and access your higher guidance, your higher consciousness, exalting your mind and connecting with the infinite source, the one true creation, God, source, you know, spirit, you know, whatever you want to call it, the many facets of the ethereal, mystical world. We all have access to this, and it's time, especially in this time, we can now ascend and evolve and exalt ourselves to working this into our daily lives. We don't have to be part of this matrix. We don't have to be part of this old, outdated massacre system, because we are more powerful than that. And so it takes responsibility for each person to manifest this. And this is our power. This is our supreme sovereign right. And anything that doesn't support that vision falls away. We envisage it falling away, and we unify and connect with that which promotes the vision, that which promotes the values and ethics that we have. And we take our focus off these systems and businesses, corporate businesses that feed into anything else. You know, we focus on our power, we focus on our joy, we focus on our dream, we focus on our vision. And when we do that, we don't have to be part of these systems. It is that simple. When every single person does that, we take our focus and stop watching the news, stop feeding these institutions that are killing us. We have to start feeding into our focus and our vision and our clarity of what we see for the world. Divine power, spiritual power, you have it, I have it, we all have it. When we share it together, we are strong. We are the people, we are the power.